Hey guys, and welcome to Comic Book Wednesdays. Yes, gotta do that to slam the door. What beautiful weather, unlike last week, last week's rainy weather. Oh man, it's so nice to be out here today. But that's not why we're here. We're here to get comic books, clearly. So, this week we have The Movement from DC Comics #1. This is an original series that came out in the 1970s. I believe that is. I know the Green Team did, and that's coming out later this month. We also have Thanos Rising #2, which I thought the first one was pretty good. Check out my comic book Wednesday. And then we have, I'm at the store early, but Age of Ultron #7. So let's go inside and check this out. Alright, guys. We got our comics. I'm actually really surprised at that this week. Not because there was quantity, but because I actually picked up something else extra. I don't know. I wanted something else, There are things that are nice. But, yeah, I'll explain when I get to the store. I was already at the store. When I get back to the school. So, let's talk about last week, about what happened last week with the whole Comic Book Wednesday, why I was up late. So, like I said in the video, I wasn't sure I was going to the store or not because of things, but I ended up going to the store because of idiots, and I already made a rant about that in that same video. So please, if you want to check out what I think of idiots in America, go check out that video. But that's not the point of this video. But why I was late, I was just completely busy that week. I was so busy with my show that I couldn't really focus on uploading because it's an all-day thing. That's what basically we did. So Thursday was very successful. We had over 1,200 people from our show. And yeah, it was amazing. Wow, 1,200 people for a show. Just a little theater production of a musical about a flat kid. Yeah, I know. If you wanted to know, it was the musical Adventures of Flat Stanley. So, it's very shocking to know that we sold out a theater. Over 1,200 people. Wow. And we're lucky we had that. So, then after we went and had a cast party, kind of, and then we had another show that night. So I pretty much could not upload whatsoever. Yeah, but so Friday came along and I only had a show in the morning. But I was so sore from after that show. It was only 1,000 people that time around too, which that's still amazing, but still it's kind of disappointing that we lost a bunch of people because of that. But what are you doing, guy? Turn. But it's nice to know that we actually were able to perform for a lot of people still. At the end of the day, we performed for over almost 3,000 people. I know, it's crazy. It was about 3,700, probably, not 3,000, 2,700 people we performed for fully. Most of them were kids, but still, that's a lot. And I'm very proud to say that we did a successful show, definitely. So, all of my friends out there at the theater company, All the World Stage, thanks a lot. Love you guys. But let's get back to why I didn't upload. Again, Friday I was really sore, so I really couldn't work. Luckily, Saturday I didn't have a rehearsal for the show, so I spent all day working on the video, and the files were also corrupted. Yeah. I don't know what happened. They were on my iPhone. I tried to transfer them over. For some reason, they weren't working. So I had to put them on my Dropbox. And the Dropbox takes forever when you're not on a wireless network. So luckily, I was able to fully get through. And yeah, now I got it uploaded. You can check it out, definitely. It wasn't much. I just picked up Injustice in the Green Hornet comic that came out months ago. But still, that's something to do, to talk about. But again, we have more this week, trust me. It's Marvel this week. It's Marvel. This whole week is just Marvel. I would blame Iron Man, but at the same time, it's not just because of Iron Man. It's because of other things, there's just a lot of the series that they're doing going on right now. That's probably the reason why. So, I'm gonna park. I'm gonna parallel park. So, be right back. Alright, we're back, guys. And yes, I opened a window because it's hot. It is extremely hot today. It's like over 70 degrees, which, thank you. Thank you, sun, for finally coming out. Well, you came out like 2 weeks ago, but it's officially the spring season in May. Like, it took all of April to finally figure out what it wanted to do, but the first day of May, finally got the sun, and yes, the sun glare is back. Okay, so, first I got a poster for Iron Man number 8, or 9, that, I didn't pick up. It's kind of ironic that they released the Iron Man number 9, The Secret Origin of Tony Stark, the same week as Iron Man 3. Is that a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence whatsoever. They did it on purpose because they knew Iron Man 3 was going to come out. People are going to see Iron Man 3 and probably will want to know a little bit more about the character before they stop the series, which I think that they're going to end at 3, the Robert Downey Jr. Personally, because he's getting a little bit old for it. I know, I love Downey as Tony Stark. He's probably the best thing of the whole franchise of Marvel, but still, he's getting older and is injuring himself a lot more. Also, on the other side is this Avengers Assemble show, beginning on May 26th on Disney XD. This is the show that replaced our Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, so this is going to be a skeptical. We have no idea if this is going to be good or not. I think I liked Earth's Mightiest Heroes a lot, but I'm not sure if this will be able to compete with it. It's got Falcon. So, let's get into the comics. First, let's go with our DC-only comic, The Movement. So, this is written by Gail Simone, who is a fantastic writer. I was one of those people who loved Batgirl, and of course, when they got rid of her for like those 2 issues, people were really pissed off. I was kind of one of them. I can understand DC's point, but she also said, do not complain. It's DC's decision. So, but, yeah, I love Gail Simone. I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, I think this is a comic book series from the 70s that they brought back. And it looks promising because, you know, superheroes who are renegade, basically, and this might be the number 1 of the week because you never know. These really have, like, really good chances that the ones that you don't really expect the most are the ones. But what else do we have? From Marvel, we have Age of Ultron number 7. Now, when we left off, Wolverine killed Hank Pym. No big shock there. That happened, so now this future is going to be changed. From what the looks of it, it looks to be really weird, because, yeah. But, I don't know. I'm going to skim... I can't tell, but Wolverine and Invisible Woman are probably going to be in for something. We also have Thanos Rising, number 2. I really enjoyed the first issue, very much. Yes, it was a great prequel. I want to see where this is going to go. How far into the past will it go? Will it still be his childhood? Will he be turning a teenager when all teenagers have those renegade years? Even though Thanos really had a renegade childhood. But still, that'll be very interesting to look at. And finally, the comic I wasn't going to pick up earlier, but I decided I was going to because it's just a one-shot. Why not? It's huge, but it was only $4. Iron Man, Age of the Melter. Well, Age of the Melter. I'm thinking of Age of Ultron and combining it with the Iron Man comic. The Coming of the Melter. I don't know anything about this guy, but it should be cool. It's nice to see. I'm very interested to see what this is going to have. I also like that it has the different kind of paper that most of the usual Marvel comics don't use. But, you know, it doesn't even look that long. Oh, it's not. Okay, I'll explain in the review. I already see what this is going to be, but I'll explain in the review that's coming in about a few minutes. I just want to remind everyone that Saturday, I also have a Comic Book Wednesday coming on. Yes, a Comic Wednesday on Saturday. I have a comic book Saturday coming out this Saturday because of Free Comic Book Day. Please go check that out when it comes out. It's definitely going to be a big one. Definitely. There's going to be a lot to be picking up. You think I have a lot to talk about here? Get ready for that. There's going to be a ton of stuff I'm going to be talking about, definitely. From indie stuff to DC to Marvel, from all over the place that I usually don't look at. I'm definitely going to read some. So, please, check that out when that comes out. But let's get on to the reviews. Future me? Alright guys, we're back to the computer setup like last week. Last week was not the computer setup like 2 weeks ago. Apologies for last week. Well, technically Saturday, because I uploaded it Saturday, but technically last week's Comic Book Wednesday, I was walking around. I really wasn't feeling the sitting down and talking. I was kind of in a hurry mood, plus I was kind of hungry, because I had to go somewhere. And yeah, it was very hectic that day, so very much I was just kind of picking up the pace. So now we can fully we can fully invest ourselves in the comics this week, like we did in the previous section. This is a long video, I realize that. Let's go in with number one, the movement number one. I'm like, what did I just say? The story is about Coast City, this city that is just, it's filled with cops and it's filled with crime, and the cops really don't know what they're doing. So this group of vigilante heroes, like teenage-wise, so they're about the Teen Titans, kind of, but they're not the Teen Titans, and basically they're trying to tell the cops that they're going to try to take over and do this because they believe so. They believe that they should. So they're doing all these actions. It's really good, I have to admit. The art style by Freddie Williams Jr. Freddie Williams II is fantastic. Like, honestly, it's the grittiness that we need in this comic, and Gail Simone's writing is just perfect. Not top notch. Exactly, I know. Yeah, I love it so much. It's such a great book. It's worth the $3 that you have to spend. And yes, the heroes are fighting cops, but they're doing it for the right reasons. And there's some weird stuff going on in here that I want to keep reading this. I can't wait for the next issue. I really cannot wait. Next we have Age of Ultron number 7. So, Wolverine killed Hank Pym, which, of course, is going to do some stipulations to this parallel universe, because it's already a parallel universe. So, Wolverine and Invisible Woman go back into the future to find out what has actually changed. A lot has changed, and I really don't want to spoil it. I will tell you this. These guys are called the Defenders. That's all I'm going to say. The Defenders come and protect the city. And yeah, you can clearly tell that there's some changes. And there's a new being overloading, and it's not Ultron. I'll tell you that for sure. You're in for kind of a shock. Kinda a shock. I really did enjoy this one more, even though there wasn't like any Ultron. I really did enjoy this one for what it was. It was one of the better ones. I say this is now the third best of it because I actually enjoyed it. But at the same time, I expect more to be coming in these next 3 issues. And we're not expecting another Age of Ultron for another 2 weeks. So they're really dragging it out while we're waiting for the end. And it's going to be interesting what we do for the end. I'm really not guessing what the ending is going to be. But I'm suspecting that it's going to be something interesting. I'll tell you that for sure. Next we have Thanos Rising. And I'm very disappointed with this one. I didn't care for it whatsoever. Except for the ending. I'll tell you that. The ending was kind of a shocker there. But really, I didn't care for it like whatsoever. So this is a couple of years, not a couple, like about a lot of years later from Thanos' childhood, where he kills all those lizards because of his fear of killing. He now has the ability. He really just he kills a lot more because of those kids who died from those lizards, and it actually starts off with a lizard that he dissects, and he's the smartest in the class. He's just too intelligent for the school. He doesn't skip school, he still goes, but he's just like far beyond what the teachers are expecting of him, and he's still hanging out with that chick. I don't remember her name, and she's a character I really don't care about either, but he's still hanging out with her, and you can clearly tell he has feelings for her, but at the same time he doesn't. He doesn't care rat's ass about her, but at the same time he loves her. He's in love with her. He loves her very much. So, he's trying to deal with that, and at the same time he's trying to conduct experiments and trying to figure out why is he so far advanced than everyone else. Sorry guys. He's trying to realize how far advanced he is more than everyone else. And it just was boring. Like, honestly, I didn't care for it. Like, Thanos is just whiny, and the girl, I can understand why he likes her, kinda, I guess. But again, he's a whiny little teenager. Like, he's a teenage girl. It's embarrassing how, like, lackluster he is. But I'm kind of expecting more from this book, because the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, but the ending is kind of shockerish, because no one sees it coming, I bet. Not a lot of people do, but yeah, I'm expecting, this was not that good compared to the first one. Finally, we have Iron Man, The Coming of the Melter. It's a one-shot, so I recommend picking it up just because it's a one-shot. But it's just a story about Iron Man and War Machine finding the character, the Melter, who has a grudge against Tony Stark because his military weapons didn't work and Tony Stark's did. So he finally got his weapons to work. And it's a short story, but they add in the back another story about the Melter and Iron Man. It's an older story, I'll tell you that. And it's funny. It's a really funny story. It's from the Stan Lee era, except Stan Lee wasn't writing it. Who was writing it? Mike Frederick. Mike Frederick, he was a very funny writer. And basically the comic relief of what they did with the Iron Man suit, and fans about it as well. It's a very, very funny comic at the end of the book. So, with that being said, what were my top 3 that you should definitely pick up this week? So, number 3, I'm going to have to say the one I just picked up, Iron Man. I really did enjoy it for what it was. It's a very good, like, comic booky book, if you get my drift. It's just action, humor, character, all you need to know, basically. That's it. It's very cool. Number 2, this is going to be kind of a shocker. Not really. Age of Ultron number 7. Again, I really did enjoy this one a lot more. Again, it doesn't beat, like, issue 1 or issue 4. It's better than the last issue, I'll tell you that, issue 6. But issue 6 was just okay. This is good, though, at least. This is definitely... It's a pickup from what we needed, and it really needs to elapse more. Finally, my number 1 for the week, as you can clearly tell, is The Movement. I really did enjoy this book. I'm glad Gail Simone is the main writer on the project, and Freddie Williams is... Yeah, it's Freddie. I'm like, is it Fred or is it Freddie? It's Freddie. Freddie Williams II is very good at artwork for this. And again, Thanos, I'm very disappointed with it this week. I was expecting more, but of course, didn't really expect it. So, what about next week? Well, next week we just have DC. And DC, we're just, picking up the pace a little bit. So, we have Batman number 20. So, it left off with Batman and his whole Clayface stuff. Well, as we can clearly tell from the last time we were here. Actually, no. I picked up 19, but I didn't record it because it was a week later. So, I apologize. But, yeah. Batman and Clayface have a little duel, and we're going to see what happens there. And we also have Justice League number 3. Justice League of America number 3. So, what happens after we find out that they're meta Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman? Whatever. There's nothing really from Marvel coming out next week as well. But then again, I might find something like I did this week with Iron Man Coming of the Melter. So I might be surprised at what comes out. But really, we're looking forward to about 2 weeks from now, when we have at least another Age of Ultron, probably. So we're looking forward to that. We also, May seems to be a good month, so we're good there. So thank you for watching the Comic Book Wednesday for this week. I apologize for the last week's Comic Book Wednesday being up on a Saturday. I know it's very difficult, my schedule was, but I'm clean this week, at least that I know of. So uploading this on Wednesday. I promise that. I just want to know. I just wanted to remind you, not wanted to know. I just want to remind you guys. Comic Book Saturday, this Saturday, free comic book day. Very excited. I cannot wait to pick up the issues, and it's going to be a blast, guys. It is going to be so much we're going to be talking about. Well, let's hope. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll check you guys out later.